is Rosamund Lannin. Rosamund Lannin reads and writes in Chicago, where she's pleasantly surprised to have lived for over 2 decades. During that time, she has published short stories and personal essays in places like Lady Churchill's Rosebud Wristlet, Tor.com, and Vice. She's currently working on a novel about live-action role-playing and the nature of fantasy. You can find her most places on the internet at Rosamund, or riding her bike around Chicago's gloriously weird Northwest Side. Okay, Rosamund, close us out. Do you remember?
I ask my friends to tell me everything 2 or 3 times because my mind is a sieve these days. I tell them I forget everything, and my husband disagrees. He says that my memory is terrifying. Although I never like to admit that he's right, he might be right. I remember that 7 years ago, I stood outside my husband's family home in Hawaii, and I talked to his favorite uncle about climate change. The big cats will be the first to go, I think. Uncle John sounded resigned, as he often did, which I attribute to untreated depression and many years spent in Michigan, which are kind of the same thing, if you really think about it. I did not ask how Uncle John knew that lions and tigers and servals were number 1 on the climate change hit list, although it didn't sound particularly scientific, because what scared me more than losing lions was his gentle nihilism. But if I'm being honest, I do think about lions, and polar bears, and sea turtles, and children, which I have one of, and mangoes, and beaches, and elderly people, and squid. Pretty much any vulnerable population. Giant pandas, coffee, rice, peaches, corn, bumblebees, going outside during the day, and a decent quality of life. And as you might be aware, climate change threatens all of these things. And that's being really optimistic, which in spite of everything, I am. I'm optimistic, but honestly, I'm angry. I despise the idea that we should start resigning things to memory while they're already fucking here. I cannot appreciate life through the lens of a funeral, and I find Uncle John's fatalism disturbing at best, offensive at worst, because it's not over yet, folks. We can save some of it. Definitely not everything. Maybe not very much, but I will take everything. Every panda, every cold brew, every person that doesn't die from a virus released from the permafrost. Anything I don't have to remember is a big fucking win. And can we not resign ourselves to recollection? Hang on. Oh, this is going somewhere. I love it. If you go to this URL, which I will leave up after the show, you will find out more about the Sunrise Movement Chicago. They're trying to make a difference, which is really all any of us can do. And if you can't read this, because I don't know how well it shows up in this bar, it's tinyurl.com/20by2shy. My memory is terrifying because painful memories are the sharpest. And really, I would like a softer future. Woo!